Del Spool is officially part of the crew.
Congratulations, you passed the cut.
Thanks,
Oh,
buddy.
a handshake.
Yeah, handshake.
Oh, nice to meet you. How you doing? Good job. Having a great day so far? Yeah. Okay, you're hired. This year, I'm actually trying my best to keep the banners on the website, so along with like some sweaters and stuff. So normally we kind of like have a drop and sell out. This year, I'm trying to focus on keeping inventory there for you guys. So go check out the website, grab a banner, grab a sweater, or don't. Just watch the videos and show some love. It's up to you. Today, we are finally doing something that I've actually wanted to do for years. And for some reason, I was like either put off of it by someone or it just never happened.
But today's video is captained by Mr. Del Spool himself.
You have all the goods for everything that we're gonna do today. And before we do it,
What are we doing?
where are we gonna be June 3rd, 10th, and 17th?
June 3rd, Toronto driven. June 10th, Edmonton driven. June 17th?
Yeah.
Nailing it. Driven, Vancouver.
it is true. We're gonna be at all three drivens, so make sure you guys grab some tickets, come check out some cars, hang out. We got some new stuff we're gonna be dropping strictly for the show.
Cool things coming.
He's not lying. You guys saw in the last video, God, I keep taking the camera off the tripod, that
The old Del Spool is kind of interiorly challenged. It needs some love. There's the big airbag missing, glove box missing. You actually did explain it, but I didn't put it in the video because it was gonna make it too long. So you wanna give them a little expo on what's going on?
Yeah, so I have definitely not deleted all SRS in this car. And because of it, there is definitely not a giant hole from the airbag on the passenger side. So what we have today, we got a super cool 93 Del Sol dash. No airbag, really nice, super clean look. We also got something really cool to put in the cluster. I don't know how much of that I want to give away.
All right, we have to address this. I'm colorblind, and this says green, and these are orange. This one also says blue, and it's orange. What is this?
All right, hold on a second. You ready?
Oh, it's where it goes.
Yes.
welcome to first grade color coordination with Bobby.
The colorblind master at your service. And then, you ready? You ready?
This right here is something I have wanted to do since the dawn of me touching a Honda, dude. I've always thought this was super cool. Well, it's not necessary, and I don't know, people always told me there was just like a cluster of work and it wasn't really worth it or whatever. It's an AP1?
That's an AP2.
This is an AP2 cluster out of an S2000.
This, for some reason, to me, is like one of the coolest. I don't know. I don't even know what it is.
It's just like, it's such a futuristic cluster for like what it was. And like growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, you'd go to play arcade games and it was like, this was like sort of like that.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think one day our next K-swap, our second next K-swap, we're gonna do one of these. All right, what's in the yellow package? Stop just standing there. You look like you're about to deliver me bad news.
I'm gonna give you good news. So this is like, everything cool here is super cool. I'm super excited about this, but when I bought this, like I was super jazzed about when this came and how it turned out and everything. So I'm just gonna show it to you because like I'm super excited.
Oh, dude. This looks so dumb, just me holding it, but it is. Does it just fit like this? You do.
Yeah,
I'm new here.
I've never fitted this up. I opened it and I put it back in the bubble mail because I was super nervous about this.
Okay.
I've had this a while and I believe it just like, we take those brackets off and then these are for where like the cluster is supposed to sit.
Oh. And then this fills the hole that's now going to be there. Because
Yeah.
Shall we start the removal process?
I'm so excited.
What do you just take that off every Sunday for fun? Like, what is that?
It's quick release.
This thing is terribly ugly behind that dash.
What was that, like 8 bolts?
Yeah, dude, literally nothing holds this on.
I had 2.
I have 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, and that was part of the one up top too, right?
Yeah. Safety first. Mac just has to tape up a couple weird little wires that he has left over from gauges and stuff that he ran in the old dash. And these are basically like a direct bolt on. The newer year dash had that airbag. There's literally the only difference in these two dashes. So everything from here is gonna transfer into there. So all we gotta do now is figure out how to get all of this nicely out of here. Boom. I think that is all. Yes, that I need to pull out of this dash?
I believe so. Yeah. Vent. Yeah.
This is looking good. We put these magnets here. I don't think we ever showed you, but we have Mac has like a tablet, and he has magnets on the back of the tablet. He sticks it there for like the Hondata. That is why we transferred 2 of the world's weirdest looking magnets onto those vents. And we do have a glove box for this side, but obviously we can't put the glove box in until the dash is in, so there is a glove box now.
But before we go ahead and we put the AP1 cluster in, I wanted to give you guys a closer up of the cluster that Mac already had in the car, because this is one of my favorite things about this car. Like when we picked it up, I was like, this is the coolest thing.
I guess it would have looked like this, right? Yeah. So this is what it was looking like in the car, and basically there used to be a clock here. Again, I think this is something I might have explained but not made it to a video.
Yeah, so it was a clock, and then above it, above like the clock, there was a picture, a side profile of the Del Sol.
He took that out and used the opening, which was already here, to adjust the clock for his gauge, which is super sick. So this is honestly one of my favorite, if not apparently my favorite Honda cluster. And the fact that Mac was able to retrofit that little gauge in there is unreal.
And it's only getting better. We'll leave links to everything that we used down below so you guys can check it all out, because I don't even know what half this stuff is. I'm gonna have to get a link from Mac and figure it out. But this thing, when you line it up, you can see the 2 holes. Probably can't see them on camera. Right here, and these tabs are hitting, but these tabs clip into the S2K dash. They don't clip into Del Spoolie, so you gotta go. This episode of Arts and Crafts with Bobby Ross, we will be taking the sharpest X-Acto in the drawer with the latest and greatest Olfa sharp blade, and we will be running it lightly across the edge of this pristine piece of Honda plastic. As we run it, the groove will become significantly deeper with each pass. We will continue this process until you are looking at a groove that is similarly shaped to the Grand Canyon. Once we have reached this ideal state of groovage and canyonage, we will qualify to just simply push on the tab and have it release from its permanent location. Now let's look at this. This is gonna be sick! There you go, now rotate. There you go.
Hooray! Damn, dude. Just a glove box and no more giant hole. I mean, the rest of the car still needs to be put together, but like that alone cleaned it up a lot.
Thankfully, mine's all gonna be plug and play, so I'm not gonna have to kind of jazz around with wires. This is a dash converter. Essentially what this does is turns everything from like analog to digital. I just happen to know somebody within the Del Sol community, and he did my auto to manual harness. Nice. So that was all plug and play, and he made me this.
So normally people have to do it themselves?
Yeah, you're gonna have to, normally people are gonna have to deal with this. You're gonna have to tap into wires in your existing dash harness.
Okay.
I didn't want to do that.
Nope, I wouldn't want to do it either.
Yep.
And this comes from K-Tune though.
This comes from K-Tune.
So when you buy this K-Tune S2K dash converter for AP1 and 2, you can just use what comes in this bag.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
You want me to hold this for you, and you can fire plugs from there into here?
Yep.
You got quite a girthy harness there. And this is where the fun really began. So we didn't know it yet, but we were in for it for the rest of the night. We initially thought this harness was just gonna go between the new cluster and the old cluster clips. We quickly realized that wasn't gonna happen.
What's going on here? Let's go like under the dash maybe?
What are the odds that's an entire harness?
You gotta go to the fuse box.
Green. Is it? Yeah. Nice. This harness actually sits in between clips that connect to the fuse panels. So it basically takes the signals it needs while continuing to send them where they used to go anyways, which is actually a really cool system.
Are you ready?
Yes, sir. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, baby! Dang, can you shut the goddamn...
Dude, this thing is sick.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I've always wanted one of these. That's sick.
It looks like a LED might be out, but that's neither here nor there. You want to start it?
That was just instant, and we have no eruptions.
Okay, that's because we gotta like program the dash converter. Because it's probably factory set to AP1, where this is an AP2 cluster.
Precisely what I thought. You know, the downfall is our tuning computer is from 1506.
I should have brought my computer, and I knew better, but I just...
Well, doesn't your Windows phone do fancy stuff? Isn't that why you use that thing? Ow!
I'm sorry.
Bro!
1 hour later. 2 hours later.
Okay, here we are.
So click AP2. Yep.
Plug this thing back in. 2 separate beepings. The cluster is beeping.
That's annoying.
That is sick. What an upgrade. And now that the dash sensor was set for AP2, we went ahead and spun the screw on the back, which basically just adjusts the fuel level on the gauge. But we were still running into an issue when we would start it where... not good.
Not great.
We have no RPMs, and the engine light that comes on when you turn the key to ignition is not there. So naturally, I started tearing into this thing. I wanted to start with the cluster before we put it in the dash and then had to pull it all back out and eliminate any problems.
Dude, it has me more nervous than open heart surgery right here.
We tore this whole thing down and all we found was a couple burnt out bulbs, none of which should have been affecting what we were doing. So I slapped it all back together and we moved on to the harness, which it turns out we found out the problem right away.
What if that's gray? What if we're doing the wrong gray? What if this is the gray?
All right, Susan, it's fucking about to go down. Are we recording? Because I know that we just fixed it. Hot dog! We got the light. Let's go!
I love you!
Big good news! Mac doesn't know how to read, dude.
Do you know, if you paid attention a little more in Miss Frizzle's class, we wouldn't be here right now.
The issue that we were just dealing with is that gray equals gray, not gray. Does that make sense?
When Mac originally tried it, this one's labeled gray.
For some reason, we plugged it into this one, even though that obviously has nothing to do with the cluster. So I don't know what we were thinking.
But what's important is we have it all wired up. So all 3 plugs are in the fuse box and then tapped into the new harness. We ran the new 2 plugs that go up over here, and we are on a roll.
We literally messed it up because it was almost too easy. Dude, this thing looks super good. There's actually one major issue with it already being like a fitment issue. Before we go ahead and address it, we're gonna take it for a quick drive just to make sure everything else works before we fix one issue, and we have 2.
And I feel like we need to talk about the elephant in the room. This is all going to be addressed.
Oh dude, the car looks immediately better with a dash and with a glove box.
Dash before?
Barely.
And now we got this piece into. I can tell you from right here, dude, it looks so cool. And the camera's having a hard time seeing it just because it's so reflective, but so instantly, we have a quick tune-up that needs to be made.
It's so reflective, all I can show you guys is outside.
How come you can't shoot this, dude? What is happening?
So the problem we're hunting down is no speedo and no engine light. We figured they correspond with the coolant because the coolant never read a temperature either. We messed around with the K-tune adapter for a while and we figured it wasn't that. And the only real thing that we could think of was that it had to be the harness. Thankfully, the guy who made the harness actually hopped on a FaceTime call with us and gave us 3 hours of his time, and we started doing continuity tests between pins, and after hours of trying to read different sensors, of staring at a voltmeter, and this guy we don't know on FaceTime, after all of our messing around, all it was, the way he has the harness pinned,
he accidentally reversed a pin with the ignition and the ground. So literally, we did it on the K-tune side because if we do it on the pin side, there's a lot more than just those 2 pins, then you have to change it
all over the harness. So instead of doing that, we just changed it on the K-tune side, but it was just an ignition and ground for the speedo that was messed up. So dumb, so simple. Took us 4 or 5 hours?
4 or 5 days.
4 or 5 hours. We're done, it's good.
Now we just need this to look like this.
Damn, dude, this looks so good. Before we get excited, I really just want to see it work. And you know what? I'm actually kind of excited that it took this long because it's completely dark outside. I was having a terrible time trying to show you guys this cluster earlier in the light. So that's what this thing looks like in the day. Oh, yo, that looks so much better. I like it, dude. I'm sold. We're putting one in my next car, 100%. Let's go. You see that red line, baby? We made it. We are back. It was raining. It was a very sketchy test drive. The car is mucho weto, but good news is everything worked. This thing looks super cool. Again, it's just really hard. The way it's flat, it's really hard to video it. The one thing we're gonna have to mess with is the temperature sensor here. This is when the fan comes on. The fan comes on at exactly maxed out. We gotta address that, otherwise everything is sweet. The only thing that we really had an issue with here was this carbon piece. So this piece, Mac bought this like a couple years ago, so it's probably too late to do anything about it now. But the fitment on this boy is off, dude. There's like a couple screw holes that we tried to use, and the cluster doesn't sit far enough back. It's hitting like the heater thing, so I'm not sure if I don't really get it. We ended up pulling it forwards. I ended up trimming a bunch of stuff up here, and you can see, maybe you can see, there's still like a pretty good gap right there. But again, like maybe they have gaps.
Yeah,
We've never seen one in person.
All I know is if there's another one out there, I'm willing to buy it or try another one.
Yeah, because even the top gap, there's a top gap here, and then you guys can see like all this fitment right here is bonk. That might be something that we try to wrap up another day in like another video. We just swap out that trim piece, but for today it's fine.
Yeah, it's
like,
good for right now.
When you're driving, you don't realize.
No.
So huge shout out to Zach Walenta for making that harness and helping us, because he legit FaceTimed us for like 3 hours today trying to source that problem, which is really cool for someone that privately made a harness to actually put time and effort into customer support. And today I already had this challenge picked out. If I didn't have this picked out, the way this video went, this is what I would have served you anyways. Today's challenge is to stay committed. Find something you've started, but you've stopped, and stay committed to it and get it done. How many times today did you say you wanted to send this harness back? We were on FaceTime with this guy, and Mac's like, I'm gonna send it back to you like 4 times. And I told him, how many times?
No, we're gonna
figure it out. And now, it might be late, it might not be exactly how we thought, and it might not be the way we thought, but it's done.
It is,
and it works.
What's crazy about you picking this challenge was, I said on the test drive, I was like, man, maybe the challenge needs to be like, just stay committed to what you're doing. And you were like, whoa, that's
like literally what I already did. So that's our challenge. Today was a late one, but absolutely beautiful one. And I highly recommend you guys don't do this to your cars, so that when I do it to all my cars, it's still super cool. So that's all I got for you guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out and stay. I did it backwards. You get it. Peace out. We got a B18B. No words just came out. I don't know what just happened. How much boost do you think I can load? It's vacuumed up now.
Okay. Oh, that's negative. That's negative. Half a PSI.
Oh no, come on. That's blow. I'm gonna pass out, dude. I need a tighter seal.
1 PSI.
That's enough to kill you.
You can't really see it in the camera.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it. Too bad it's on the lights. All right, go. Oh, schnitz, dude, you're at 1.5 pounds. Oh, that's almost 2 pounds. Wow. Bro, you got a diet plan on you. Let's get this in the car though, because I want to show them how to do this, and I'm also curious, how do we? That's for the guy who hates me dabbing.